Today, man, I'll be giving you guys a breakdown of how I like to run the UNLV playbook. I've been running it for about 2 to 3 weeks now, and I think I got a pretty good grasp on it. Some of the formations that we're going to be focusing on in this playbook is one of the most unique things that I don't think you're going to get in any other playbook in this game. It's going to be the go-go formation. There's a couple of them we're going to take a really good look at. I like to run the ball out of this playbook. I like to just run the ball in general, but I think a lot of you guys know this by now. So the go-go is going to be one of the main things that we look at. We're also going to take a look at the wing slide just a little bit, and we're also going to take a look at split offset. That's something we're going to look at, another two back set. And then the final thing we'll take a look at is the cluster. It's a very similar formation, a bunch. So jumping right into this thing, you're going to definitely probably want to have two really good running backs to run this offense, because if you look at the go-go, it's a split backfield. You got, well, it's not actually split, but there's two backs in the backfield. You're going to two to three receivers for this offense, and probably a solid tight end. So if we look at the first formation, this one right here, there's go-go offset. This one, you got a tight end on the line. Go-go offset over weak side, also has a tight end on over the line. I'm not going to lie, we don't really run this one a whole lot. The three that we're really going to look at is the first go-go, and then the last two, slot open and go-go offset. But the main two is going to be go-go slot open and go-go offset over. So starting off with go-go offset over, though, most of these we're running the ball out of these a lot of the time. Like, we're not really looking to throw the ball out of these. We're gonna, when we talk about cluster and wing slot, those are things I like to throw the ball out of a little bit more. But before we even go into the go-go offset over, the first thing I actually like to do before I even get in here is I actually like to sub in an extra offensive lineman at the tight end position. I have Ronnie Stanley. I put him in there. And the reason why is because in this formation, if you actually decide to throw the ball out of this formation at any point, you can't actually hot route the tight end. No matter what the play is, it will never let you put the tight end on a route. So the tight end is like literally useless in this formation. So you might as well just put in an offensive lineman to get better blocking. There's going to be 4 plays in particular that we're looking to run out of this formation. If I go to the audibles, I already have the 4 plays in there, so you guys can just add these. And these are the plays we're going to be looking at. It's going to be halfback punch, triple option, RT, load option, and you want to make sure you get the load option where the it's not one of your linemen pulling, it's the extra running back in the backfield that's pulling, because there's 2 different ones. So make sure it's this one, and then halfback toss. Let's go ahead and start breaking down these plays though. So starting off with the triple option right tackle play we talked about. We've got our audibles here, so we're going to go over these 4 plays. We're going to start off with this play, triple option right tackle. There's many different things you can do with this run. You'll see, this is what it looks like the first time you snap it. You're reading that D end, and you're working off the D end if the quarterback's going to keep it or not. That dictates everything you're going to do. There's 3 different ways you can keep this if you actually hand it off to the running back. One, you can do it like this, cut it all the way to the outside. People are always going to try to run main coverage, and it's going to be lovely because it's going to mess up their whole defense. The other thing is you could cut it up in the inside. Obviously, that's what the keeper right there, but I'm not worried about showing that off. And those are like really the things you can do. You can cut it all the way to the outside, or you could, cut it up the middle. It's up to you to kind of make that read. And if the D end actually, is just sitting there waiting for the quarterback, then a lot of times what you'll be able to do is you see how that lane is right there, how the D end was, that's opened up because the D end's so worried about the quarterback. So there's a cutback lane as well. So use your vision, figure out where you want to do to keep it. Now I need the D end to actually bite in so I can show you what it looks like pitching this. As you can see right there, you could pitch it back to the running back, even though I made the wrong read there. But you have to know how to time these things. You can't like just tap LB, hurry up and pitch it, because it's going to be a fumble. You can't hold it too long because it might be a fumble. You got to hold it right there in the middle. It's kind of weird, like it's right there. That though, I was just getting hit. I was trying to pitch, so you got to be very careful on the pitch. But once you kind of get that whole thing down, it's not too bad. As you can see, you can pretty much, it's kind of a bailout in a way, like your quarterback is just bailed out, pitch it out. It's a really good run play. I like it a lot. The next run play we're going to talk about is halfback punch. And real quick before we keep going, if you guys want to see what live gameplay looks like this against or with me running this offense against a real person online, the link down in the description is going to be to my last gameplay. You can watch. It's a ton of gameplay. It's about 36 minutes long. I'll be pretty much just running this offense so you can see what live reps look like. But the next play we're going to look at is going to be halfback punch. It looks very similar to a trap. It kind of is in a way. And you're gonna see like the blocking on this play is it's just really good. And once again, a lot of these runs, man, it comes down to you using your vision right there. You gotta just read the defense. You gotta make a stick play, and you gotta just figure out where to go with the ball. And if you're wondering like how do I know what plays to call against one defense, I do my runs based off the alignment of a defense. If the defense comes out of this, then I'm 100% running halfback punch, and we're just gonna find the open hole. But that's the thing with this halfback punch play. You can hit it so many different ways. You can hit it up the middle, or you could just straight up bounce this thing all the way to the outside. My receiver, didn't block very good right there. But there's many different ways you can run with this. A lot of times you do kind of end up bouncing it all the way to the outside because I don't know what it is, but the blocking is just like really good. If your receivers block, then the blocking on the edges is crazy. The next play we're going to look at is the load option. So the load option it's basically a speed option. The big difference is, in my opinion, I like load options better than speed options. I feel like speed options, the blocking is never very good. Guys like come in free at the quarterback, and it's just never really good. Load options, man, you'll see like the blocking is like legit always just kind of good on these plays. And with this play is you have the option of just kind of keeping it with the quarterback, or you could just pitch it out to the running back. And remember the pitching principles we talked about. You gotta know which pitch type to do, because think of pitching kind of like passing the ball. If you hold it all the way down, it's a bullet pass. If you tap it, it's a lob. And if you do it right in the middle, it's a touch pass. Think of like pitching it in kind of in those principles, but you can see sometimes you can just straight up keep this thing with the quarterback. Just comes down to you making the right read. The last play we're going to go over in this formation is going to be the halfback zone toss. This is my favorite play actually in the formation. Now, before you run this play, you have to make sure you run it to your quarterback's dominant hand side, because if you run it to the for example, if I ran it to Lamar's left, the handoff wouldn't look really good. This is what it looks like to his dominant hand side. See how he gets the pitch, gets it right out. Usually the blocking on this play, it's just so good. Like everybody gets out there, throws a block. It's an amazing play. Now, if I run this to Lamar's left side, you're going to notice that the handoff it's a lot slower. It's not as good. It's just it doesn't work very well. You see how much slower it is. Obviously, it still worked because the play is so good, but you just run into whatever side your quarterback's dominant hand is. And also try to not run this play a whole lot, because look, this play is really good and you kind of want to save it for when you might really need it. But it's hard. You have to find that medium between not running this play too much and not running it too little, because it's just really that good. Like, it's literally like probably my favorite run play out of any other play I'm going to show you guys. It's just that good. Let's go ahead and talk about some of the other go-go's now. So the go-go offset over weak side, I'm not going to lie, we really don't run this just because if you look at the alignment of it, it's the same thing except the go-go with the two running backs is just flipped. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I don't really run too much out of it. So let's just go right over to the go-go offset. There is 3 total plays I like to run out of the go-go offset. 2 that I really mostly run though. These are the plays that I like to run. The first one's going to be jet halfback punch. It's basically a fake jet sweep, and then it's actually just a handoff to the halfback punch. The other one is going to be an actual jet touch pass. There's also this RPO alert bubble. The only time it's really good is if they're blitzing like the slot corner or something like that, but it is an option to have in there. But then there's this jet PA halfback seam. I don't like it because I just don't like throwing the ball out of play actions, because it never works good for me. But this is another thing you can build off that jet sweep, the fake jet sweep. So we'll talk about the jet touch pass first. It's pretty simple. It's just a jet sweep. It's going to go to your slot receiver. So I would definitely recommend making sure whoever your slot receiver is somebody that can get pretty active with the ball in his hands. For me, it's Braxton Miller, because Braxton Miller is just absolutely filthy with the ball in his hands. You could either, cut this thing all the way to the outside with the jet sweep, or you could kind of, hit it up inside like that. Just comes down to really finding that inside hole. I've even cut it all the way back sometimes, but a lot of times it ends up me just kind of hitting that inside hole right there. But sometimes they overcommit on it, and then I can bounce it all the way to the outside. It's just a jet sweep. Next, we'll talk about the jet halfback punch. So the jet halfback punch, it's the same thing. It's a fake jet sweep, but it's just a handoff to the halfback punch. So this is something you can kind of set up, once you have ran the jet sweep. They're like, oh, it's going to be a jet sweep again. Now, this isn't something you want to run back to back to back. Maybe this is something you try to pull out in the next drive. It's something you try to do later in the game, not immediately after it happened, because most people are going to kind of think something might be up. So it's just little nuances you could do to build off throughout the game, and it's a good handoff. It's literally just another halfback punch, so it's pretty nice. And the RPO is pretty self-explanatory, man. I mean, if the slot corner bites down, or if he does that, goes inside, you can pretty much throw it. I don't really do this a whole lot because I don't know. Usually they're running a lot of man, so there's no chance to throw the RPO, but it is also an option that you can have, you know, just to have in here. This right here is going to be our very last go-go. We talked about go-go slot open. It's very similar to the first go-go we talked about, offset over. The only difference is this one's a lot more spread out. There's no tight end. It's all wide receivers, and it's just a spread out version kind of the one that we talked about, because a lot of the plays are going to be very similar. And you're probably thinking, well, if the plays are very similar to those two, then how do you know which one to run? So the first one we talked about, go offset over, I like to run this one when they're in, like, you know, dollar type packages. A lot of ones where it's a lot of DBs on the field, where it's a lot of smaller guys, because you got the tight end on the line, and you're just kind of, you know, bringing more, I don't know, I guess, you know, you're just trying to get physical with those little guys. I like to run the go slot open wherever it's more spread out, and when they're running like the 6-1s, the 3-4s, because now you're, you know, trying to spread all those backers out and all that stuff. So kind of think of it like that when you're deciding what you want to come out in. And then as for the go offset, the one we just talked about, that was just when you're trying to run the jet sweep or to fake off that. That's pretty much all you're doing out of that. But as for the go slot open, what we do like to run out of this, I do actually like to throw the ball out of this a little bit. We will talk about some little, you know, pass concepts you can actually throw the ball out of this with, because like I said, this one's 3 receivers, and you can actually, you know, put some real routes out there. So PA flood is going to be the play. RPO read halfback flat. This is a big play. It's going to be a big money play for you in the red zone. Load option, where, you know, the play that's very similar that we talked about earlier in the video, and this one's also got the triple option RT. So we'll start off with the triple option RT. Like I said, it's very similar to the same one that we just talked about. I'm not going to go out into a whole lot of depth, because it's the same thing. Like I said, you just you got to know which formation to run against what packages and all that other stuff. So, you know, I'm not going to go in crazy depth about that. Same thing with the load option. I do like the load option out of this one a little bit better, though. I will say that, just because it's a lot more spread out. I feel like it makes it a little bit easier to run it, so I will say that. Now, as for the RPO flat play, this play is very, very, very good against man, and it's really good in the red zone. And if they're running like a cover zero style man, which is basically where they're blitzing everybody, and their users, maybe the guy that has to use the running back, a lot of times, like, he's not going to get over there to that, and it's just going to lead to a big play. And like I said, it's a really good play in the red zone. So, and another thing is, you can actually keep it with the quarterback on this play, as you can see. If you're going to keep it with the quarterback, though, you have to do it to his dominant side. So with Lamar Jackson, I have to do it to the right side. With Vic, I have to do it to the left side, because you'll see, I'll show you kind of what it looks like if I do it to the opposite side. He doesn't really, it's really weird. He kind of, he doesn't like keep it like he's supposed to. Like, you'll see, he kind of like stops a little bit. Like, you see, it looks like he's kind of dropped back and passing. I can still get out of there, but it's just really weird. So make sure when you run that, if you are actually going to keep it, you do it to that side. But then you can also just straight up hand it off out of it, and the handoff's not bad. You can actually kind of cut this thing all the way back, because that DN that's worried about the quarterback creates that open lane. So another really, really, really good play. And then for the last play, we have the PA flood. So I'll break down some pretty quick route concepts out of this. So a lot of times when you're throwing the ball out of this, you're just throwing the ball just to keep the defense tame, like, you know, to let them know, like, hey, I will throw the ball, so just keep that in mind. So there's a lot of times you run it stock like this. Now, I don't like the play action part of this play. Everybody knows me, I just hate play action. I love it in real life, but in the game, for me at least, dog, I do play action, I get sacked instantly every time. So if you guys, you're fine with play action, then cool. You can leave the play action part of this, and you can do your thing like that. But me, I can't do play action. I take him off of play action. I either block the running back, or what I do is I just put A on like a little in route or something like that. So it's completely up to you what you want to do there. And I just kind of quick snap it, and, you know, you kind of just catch the defense off guard, because honestly, like I said, the play stock is like really, really good. So a lot of times you don't have to make a whole lot of adjustments. Now, if you actually do want to make some real adjustments, I could show you, you know, some stuff you could do out of it. Something I like to do, this kind of works against like cover 2, Tampa 2, or yeah, Tampa 2, cover 3, stuff like this. What you're going to do is you can streak both of the outside receivers, and you actually put this running back on a little corner route. You'll just hit the D-pad to the right, and it'll create a little opening right there. It's kind of like the same thing as if you would have did something like this, like a flood concept. It's just a little bit different, but it's something a little creative. I've done it a little bit. Another thing I like to do, especially against like man, you can actually motion this running back, and you can put him on the line right here. You can actually, if you wanted to, you can pick up most blitzes in the game, you know, just kind of blocking all these guys like this. But against like a man coverage or something, I might do a little something like a little something like this. Basically, you got this, especially against like a cover zero. The streak on the running back is going to go absolute crazy. So this isn't like an actually bad formation at all to throw the ball at. I'm surprised, and I've done it a decent amount. Split offset is going to be our very last formation that we look at out of anything related to pretty much running the ball heavy. Everything after this, I'm going to show you guys pass concepts, how you can move the ball through the air in this playbook, or at least how I like to do it. So split offset. It's two backs in the backfield. It's just not like go. You know, you got the two guys right next to each other. You can see right there. It's split offset. They're just lined up, kind of like like a split backfield. So what we're going to be looking at out of this is going to be the motion PA halfback swing, motion triple option RT. Triple option LT. We're also going to have this pass play in here, flanker spot. I rarely ever run it, but it's just something to have in there to keep the defense tame. These are the audibles, by the way. I've been showing off too because these are the plays we like to go to the line of scrimmage with. So we're going to start off with the motion PA halfback swing. So this play, it's pretty simple. You have two options. You either throw it to the running back on the halfback swing, or you could just pretty much keep it with the quarterback. It's a really good play. Works against zone, works against man. And there's going to be some little stuff that we build off it through the other runs. And like I said, you could also keep it with the quarterback. Now, you typically don't really want to do that. You only do it if you try to throw the swing pass and you know it's about to get picked. But sometimes you actually can keep it with the quarterback. It works. I'm trying to see if I'm able to do it. But yeah, the defense is not going to let me. So we're not even going to try that. But once you've ran that play, now something you can build off of right here is this play right here, motion triple option RT. What's going to happen is that running back's going to go in motion as if like you're running that play that you ran before. But the whole time, it's just a dummy motion. It's a triple option. And it's either going to be a handoff right there to the running back, or if the DN bites in, you can keep it with the quarterback. And it's going to be a triple option like the ones we've ran in the past, and it actually works really good. Like, I actually like this play a whole lot. I don't run it a whole lot, but when I do, it is pretty effective. As you can see right there, just triple option. You can pitch that thing right out, and you can see how this offense is very annoying. The next play we'll look at here is going to be triple option left tackle. So it's basically, it's just like it's a triple option, but it goes the opposite way. Because if you notice, the first two plays we showed, they all go to the wherever the receivers and stuff are lined up. When you run the other play, triple option left tackle, it goes off the opposite side. So once you set up all these other plays, this actually works pretty nicely because everyone's thinking, oh, everything's going to go to that side, and then boom, you're handing it off the other way. And once again, like, it actually surprisingly works really good. It really does kind of catch everybody off guard. The block is usually pretty good, and I don't know. The block is just always really good in all these run plays. Now we're going to talk about passing the football. So the two formations we're going to look at are going to be wing slot and cluster. I like to run a wing slot when they're playing a lot of press man coverage and they're blitzing a lot of bodies. Maybe they're running mid blitz, pinch bucko, or something like that. Blitzes like that. That's when I go to wing slot so I can block them, create mismatches with my tight ends. I like to run cluster when they're just kind of running zone, and maybe they're just doing like the loop blitz or something like that. So we'll kind of talk about all that. So let's start off with the wing slot. There's really only a few plays I run out of it. I like to run this play right here, double pivot. This is a red zone play for me. We'll talk about that. It's mostly just a red zone play though. There is an 0-1 trap in here, which is surprisingly actually, well, not surprising. It is a very good run, so you can mix that in there as well. And the pass play that I actually run out of is going to be this play all the way to the left, mesh sit. And the reason why I come at this one is stock, because it's very rarely I don't run these plays stock. I make a ton of adjustments. So, like I said, I run this when they're playing press man covers. They're pressing us at the line. They're blitzing us because the cluster, you can't really pick up many blitzes. That's kind of the problem with it. Well, you can pick them up. For me, it's just a little bit tougher. I'm a lot better at beating man with multiple tight ends. So usually I'll do a little setup like this. This pretty much destroys the man coverage. I'm going to explain it. I'm actually going to motion the running back out wide. So you can motion the running back out wide in this, but you can only do it to the side with the receivers. So what happens is here we blocked the tight end. So if they're mid blitzing, if they're pinch bucko on us, it gets picked up. You have this tight end right here on a corner route, which happens is now the corner that's manned up on him, he's going to get beat because he's going to be misaligned. That's why I love using tight ends to get against man coverage. We motion the running back out wide. We've kind of created an empty type of look now. And what happens is a lot of times when these guys are running these heavy man blitzes, whoever they're using is the guy that's usually on the running back because they're sending that extra guy. So if you motion your running back out wide and put him on a streak, there's a 50-50 chance that his user is supposed to be manned up on him, and this is going to be a touchdown. Or sometimes, you know, maybe they do have a guy manned up on him, and if there's no safety help up top, a lot of times it could still be a touchdown because a lot of these backers, if you got a fast running back, they're not keeping up with them. So a lot of times that's a big time touchdown. And then you got the simple little drag underneath, which typically we don't really look at, but you do have the backside hitch. So the three things you're really looking at, as soon as you snap it, okay, is anyone even running with this running back? And then you're usually looking over at the corner route to see if he beat the corner one-on-one in man, which typically he will. And then if all else fails, you're usually always going to have the hitch one-on-one against man coverage. So the other play we like to run is this play right here, double pivot. This is my big time red zone play. You can see I respotted the ball down here. Once you get into like that 5-yard line, man, it's such a good play. The two whip routes, especially that whip route by the tight end, you snap it, you let the running back go out wide in the motion, and it is just it's a beautiful play. I got screamed at right there. Holy shit, I got screamed at. Sometimes you can let the running back stay in instead of going out wide. If you don't, especially if you've ran a play earlier in the game and you don't want them to know you're running it, or if they're blitzing, you can, you know, block him and, you know, idea guy, get that thing picked up right there. I don't know why Todd ran that route like that, but that zig route from the tight end, man, it's just so nasty. So last but not least, we're going to talk about cluster. Cluster, like I said, I like to run this against zone coverage. It's very similar to bunch, as you can see. The tight end's not on the line, so you can't block him. You can only block the running back. It's a little bit harder for me to pick up some blitzes out of it, so a lot of times I'll kind of end up getting out of it, especially like I said, if they're running like heavy man blitzes. But the plays I do like to run at it are Z spot for those flood concepts, post dig. This is a really good play for short yardage situations. And then good old verticals. If you've ran bunch before, you know all about some verticals. First play we'll start off with the Z spot play. I don't have a whole lot of breakdowns to give you guys out of these because I'm not as prolific as I am in other stuff, but I can give you some pretty simple breakdowns. What I like to do is this play is I'll actually put B on a streak, motion him out wide, because when I run flood concepts, I like to always have a clear out streak for my corner out. That's just kind of how I am. And you can instead of having X on that little funky post route, I like to take them off it and put them on my own post route. You can always stem route these down too, so they run a lot faster. You can do the same thing with the corner route as well. It's completely up to you. And then if I'm putting everybody out wide, including my running back, I'll put my running back on a flat route, and I'll actually put the tight end on a drag just to have something kind of going over the middle. It's a pretty simple route combo. You'll kind of you make a read to the open guy, you know. Just a simple little flood concept. The next play is going to be post dig. So post dig, I really only run this in short yardage situations. This is actually another really good red zone play. 3rd and short, 4th and short. What I actually like to do is I like to put the tight end on a little flat route like this, motion him out wide. So it looks kind of similar to how we motioned the guy out before. Even though they might know something's up when it's the tight end going out wide, but they might not know. So you put him on a flat route, and the reason why you motion him out and leave him on that is it's going to create some more spacing for that little zig route right here to run, and it's just going to make your life easier. And pretty much just snap this thing like that, and you can see, look how much space the zig has. It's kind of like I guess a clear out in a way for a zig. I guess that's the best way to put it. And the final play we're going to talk about is verticals. I don't think there's much I have to say about this. I mean, you could just quick snap this a lot of times, just straight up stock like this, and I mean, RB is, you know, it's just one of the most unguardable routes in all of virtual football, man. That crosser has been undefeated for years. Really, nowadays, probably the only way to really stop it is you got to kind of switch stick it or just send it pretty much the house. But, you know, I don't really got to say a lot about verticals. You guys know how it gets down. But yeah, man, that's pretty much my UNLV offense. I try to give a quicker breakdown of it because I didn't want to take too long with it. It's a really good playbook. Like I said, I've been running it for about 3 weeks now. Very successful in it too. I've had a lot of fun in it. Spoiler alert though, I have switched back to my good old Charlotte playbook. Not because UNLV was bad. Like I said, I was having a ton of success in it. I was having a lot of fun in it, but you guys know me, man. I can't stay away from Charlotte for too long. Ace offset is life, man. What can I say? I do have a breakdown of my Charlotte playbook as well. I think I'm going to be getting a new one out pretty soon. If you guys do want that, comment that down below. That's pretty much all I got for this one, though, boys. If you guys did enjoy this video, man, drop a like if this video helped you. Drop a like if you guys have any questions about the offense or anything in particular, maybe picking up blitzes or just anything like that, you can comment that down below. That is pretty much going to do it for this one, though, boys. Till next time, man. See y'all in the next one.